Hello. This is a little different to what you usually see on this channel, but I think it's important. So, what I'm hopefully going to do is add a little series where I talk about things that are problems to me. So, let me explain how this becomes a problem. In my regular functioning mind, every now and then, I don't have to be doing anything in particular. I could be sit there playing a game, and it'll just pop up into my brain, these flashbacks, and just reminding myself I've let people down. I'm hopefully gonna link the people who are affected by the mistakes I've made. So this particular story, this is one that makes me feel ashamed. So back when I was in school, around year 4 or 5, I had a small group of friends. It was me, Caleb, and a new kid called Jake. Me and Jake used to have some pretty epic rivalry. We were both good at the same subjects, really. So maths, science, history. So we used to have these big brain battles. And I'll tell you how it all started, actually. So, first of all, he joined the school, obviously. I'm a genuinely friendly person, so I'd go up to him and say, "Hello, I'm Dan. Do you need me to show you around the school or anything?" You know, I was that kid. I was. He was quite to himself and quite quiet. Didn't really speak much. So, I left him to it. He didn't really want to know me at the time. He was quite a quiet kid. Over time, I found that he put his hand up quite a lot and answered the teacher quite a lot with the correct answer, actually, almost every time. He's a very smart kid. I could tell that. But you see, I already had the reputation of being the smart kid, so I had this reputation to defend. So I started seeing it as a challenge. The teacher would ask a question, I'd put my hand up, Oh, me, miss, I know. Okay, Dan, what is it? Henry VIII. You know, stuff like that. I used to just try and beat him to it, no matter what it was. Just try and beat him to it. We'd answer a question right, and I'd look at him, little smuggler. And every now and then he'd put his hand up and beat me, and he'd look at me, suck on that. And so it went back and forth for a little while. And eventually we actually became friends, and we started talking about each other's lives. I learned a few things about him, and he obviously learned a few things about me. And we were friends. I'd officially call us friends. And after a little while, he kind of integrated into my small little group of 2 people. And we used to get Caleb to ask us some maths questions, and he'd be like, 392 times 205. And we'd get our papers out, and we'd fly through the Chinese method as quickly as we could. And then as soon as we had the answer, we just blurt it out, like 956,555. When we're like actually doing the method, we used to look up at each other to see how far along we are. And this is where he benefited me, really. Because he was such an equal match to me, and I was so determined to be the smartest kid in the class. I used to look up encyclopedias. I used to ask my mum, "Do you know a different way of doing math? I need to know, because I need to beat this kid." Oh no, that sounds so bad. And eventually, I became really confident in these subjects. Came up to a point where I'd go into school and I'd be like, "Oh, Caleb, ask me anything about pigs when we see Jake. I'll be able to answer it before him," And Caleb used to do, "Can pigs sweat?" And I'd be like, "No, they can't. Suck on that, Jake. I knew that." And he'd go, "Yeah, I knew that too." It's just messing around, being childish. It's kind of embarrassing thinking back to it. So, obviously, me and Jake, due to these competitions, have started to excel in subjects and be better at them, and our rivalry kind of helped each other. It made me feel like I was the best at maths, science, or history, or at least joint best. Although, I was the best. Okay. I know I was. I had the first encyclopedia. Nothing beats the first encyclopedia. But I didn't necessarily only benefit him. So, I can't remember what the reason was, but one day in school, it was own clothes day. So I came in my usual attire, black jeans and a top. Then he came in these army trackies with a watch on. In our playground, we had this massive puddle. And so when it'd be raining, the puddle would be humongous. And thankfully, it had been raining. So I was off there next to this puddle, splashing everybody that came nearby, because I was that kid. I was the kid that splashed everyone. I'm sorry, everybody who got splashed. It's just the way I was. It was like my puddle. Anyone comes near my puddle, I will splash them. And it was a joke. Everyone found it kind of funny. I was kind of the troll next to the water. It was It was silly. I was just being a child. And so Jake came over, probably looking at all the commotion, being like, how come everybody's splashing each other by the water? I had a little look round, and me being me, I kicked water at him. He was like, why'd you splash me with water? And then kicked the water back at me. And so I'm quite quick, not gonna lie. Not gonna brag or anything, but I got out of the way of the water before it hit me. I was at a distance from the water now where I could run at it. So I did. I ran over, and with my little loafer shoes, I scooped up a whole lot of water and flung it all over him. He was absolutely drenched. And he didn't take too lightly to the fact that I drenched him. So, him obviously looking very angry at this point and very wet. And there I am in the puddle looking at him, just laughing because I thought it was absolutely hilarious how much I'd splashed him. Like, you wouldn't think that a 9-10-year-old would be able to splash someone with this much water in one kick. It was quite impressive. I'm not ashamed of this part, by the way. I think this is still quite funny. He stormed off, and I didn't see him for a little while. I need to go for a wee, so I went to the toilet, and this is where I saw him. He says, "Why did you splash me?" "Because you were near the puddle. If you go near the puddle, I splash you." "Well, now you've ruined my trousers." "Oh, it's your fault for going near the puddle. These cost £100. Who spends £100 on trousers? What a waste of money." "Well, it came with this watch." Clearly I haven't ruined £100 worth of trousers, have I? Because your watch is still working. "These were presents from my parents." What a lame present. They could have got you like a PlayStation or something good like. Well, that's all they got me. Unlucky. This meant a lot to me. What do you want me to say? At this point, he was furious. You could see a tear in his eye. He came towards me and grabbed me and pushed me towards the wall in the bathroom. There was a bin next to us. Well, I turned to the side towards the bin and I pushed him. He tripped over the bin and he hit his head on a sink where he let go of me. At this point, I've hurt someone. I never wanted to hurt anybody. Even at that age, I was very conscious about hurting people and I knew I'd hurt him. But this isn't necessarily the part I'm ashamed of. You see, there's a bit of information I've been kind of holding from you that makes a big difference, actually. You see, Jake and his brother, they moved to the school because he was a foster kid. And foster kids don't really get to see their real parents. And from what I remember from the conversations we'd had before this altercation, his real parents lived in England somewhere. They were in a small school in Wales, so when he said these were a gift from his parents, that's what really mattered. He obviously cherished these clothes. I don't think it mattered if they cost £100, £5 or nothing. I know that my dad gave me a necklace, and now that he's not around anymore, this necklace is priceless. So when this pops up in my mind, it's not the impact of the head, all that adds to it. It's not the splashing him that really affects me. It's the emotional damage I could have caused him. You see, Jake only really had me and Caleb as a friend. And Caleb was always my friend first. So after this, Jake was left with no one. I knew from previous conversations that he missed his real mum and dad. And he did get to see them every now and then, but they always left him there. They never took him with them. And instead of being there for him, instead of being a friend like I had been so far, after this, it kind of became hard to be a friend. You could have really used a friend during this difficult time. Jake's only really ever had a positive impact on me. All I have for Jake is thank yous. But I never got to say sorry for what I did. I've grown since then, though, and I've paid the price by reminding myself every now and then for the last 13 to 14 years. I reached out the other day on Facebook to see if I could find him, but didn't have any luck. I really hope he's okay. I hope that one day he'll see this and he'll smile. He deserves to smile. He was a good person. So if you're seeing this, Jake, stay you. Bye for now.